Good morning, everybody. Jason here from JAC'sDrumShack. I'm here to share with you the latest creation out of the shack. This is called the Kilborn Custom Caddy. This was a commission project from my friend Seth, and he wanted a drum caddy that would serve multiple functions. So we tried to hit all those needs for him, and I think we successfully did that. So let's take a quick run through here, and I'll show you all the different features this has. To begin with, Seth had some very specific things in mind. He wanted a place to attach an iPad. He wanted a place for a hardwired in-ear monitor box. We also needed to include power inside this as well, so he could plug in the devices he needed to plug in. And then I built in a few more custom little details here, which I think will make life a little bit easier. And it just made this really a unique project. So to begin with, we have a removable top. It's very simply removed by pulling straight up. It's held on by 5 different magnets here. And the reason for that is because Seth had mentioned that he needed a place to put his practice pad. And when you go out on gigs, being the drummer and being the player of an instrument that's as loud as it is, you can't really just practice while everybody else is tuning up or getting ready. So he wanted a place where he could put his practice pad. So he has a real feel practice pad, just like this one here, which will sit right there. And that's where it can live. When he's ready to play, he can take this off. He can set it down on his lap. He can set it down on a drum. And he can go ahead and get practice time in. So that's our first feature, the removable top. So we're going to keep that removed while we talk about some other features here. So when Seth approached me about this project, he wanted a place for an iPad. So we have an iPad mount here. This will accommodate a standard size phone. It'll accommodate an iPad mini and even one of the full-size iPads. In addition to that, he also wanted a place for an in-ear monitor box. Now, these are my in-ear monitors, but this is about the same size as his hardwired box. So you can see that can sit right there nicely. And we've got plenty of room for everything, and even some space over here where we'd like to put some things. Now, if we need to get this shelf a bit closer, well, we can simply pull it forward, and it extends about 4 inches. So easier access to the materials that you need. Just kind of a neat little feature there. So as far as the iPad, we'll go ahead and demonstrate what that looks like. I just have my little iPad mini here, old school iPad mini. But you can see it holds it pretty well in place. This can then be extended upward, outward, whatever direction you want to move it. And you can have that there and accessible. It does swivel to accommodate whatever angle you need it to be at, still allowing room for your in-ear monitor box right there, so everything's out of the way. You can see we've got some swivel room there, so it doesn't interfere. So there we go. It can also be used pushed all the way in. It just really depends on how much closer you need your device to you. So we'll slide this back out. So there's that. Now I'm going to remove the iPad here so we can get to what's on the inside. I've got some special features here that I wanted to share with you. So we're going to go ahead and collapse this. Push the shelf all the way in. Let's remove this for now. And let's take a look at what we have on the inside. As I mentioned earlier, we do have power built into this. I've installed a round surge protector that has a spot for 3 different plugs. It also has two USB-A and two USB-C plugins, so the iPad can be plugged in pretty easily. The inner monitor box, which does require power, can be plugged directly into that. There is a 15-foot cord on this particular surge protector, allowing the player to plug in to a nearby wall or to another extension cord that might be running to accommodate amps or whatever else might be there. A couple other cool features here is I built in a spot to house a drum key. So there's one of those on each side. I've got my torque key here, and then my JAC'sDrumShack drum key. There's also space here where you could store business cards, you could store pens, pencils, small items that you want to be able to access easily. In addition to that, you've got a large space here in the front. That's about a 6.5 by 6.5 square space there in front where you can store your wallet, your phone, your keys, any other materials that you don't want to have in your pockets. If you're anything like me, I just hate having extra stuff in my pockets when I sit down to play. So I've got cubbies built in here so that those items can be placed and out of the way. Everything has been finished off with felt lining. You can see here to keep everything protected. And that's the inside. Once again, that shelf extends. The nice thing is, as long as everything is below the level of the shelf, they can be hidden away there. Your shelf can fully extend, and you don't need to worry about things getting in the way. The lid, which I showed you earlier, does connect magnetically and has a pretty strong connection. Get everything lined up nicely. It's got a pretty strong connection there. If you need additional access, if you want to be able to get in here with this still in place, we've got a built-in feature where you push down, and this does pop up about an extra 2 inches or so, allowing you easier access to get in. Let's say you need to disconnect your iPad, you need to reach in there and get that monitor box out, whatever it is that you need to do. You've got additional room for that without having to completely remove this lid and having to set it down somewhere. So to put that back in place, very simple. Just a firm push, back in place, and there you have it. Everything was trimmed off with purple diamond pearl wrap. We've got the chrome hardware, obviously, as you can see, and this has been finished off with that black rubber trim, and that's used for a couple different reasons. First of all, it helps just dress everything up nicely and gives it a complete look. It also matches the paint colors that we have going on the side, so it's a very cohesive look. And it also keeps the drummer from scratching his or her hand, arm, fingers, whatever it might be, as they reach in and try and grab something. So it has dual purposes there, but I think it finishes it off nicely. So this is it. This is the Kilbourne Custom Caddy from my buddy Seth. So we're going to get this out to him as soon as we can so he can start using it and start enjoying it. So these are completely 100% customizable. So if anybody is interested in one of these, just drop me a line through JAC'sDrumShack. You can drop me a line on Facebook, Instagram, even visit JAC'sDrumShack.com. And we can certainly talk about your needs and what we can do to help address those. Thanks a lot for checking this out, guys. Have a good one.